Dudes who moan when shitting or pissing in a public toilet. Why? I'll never forget overhearing a mom and little boy in a stall. Little boy's on the toilet, tiny sneakers hanging inches off the floor. Mom's feet to the side. The kid is grunting. Mom keeps whispering, "Timmy, shh." Kid keeps grunting. Mom again, "SSSHHH." Kid yells, "I'm not done." Or grunt. It was so funny. Poor kid needed to eat more fruit. Had a dude at my gym sit down, crumble up his newspaper, and loudly exclaim, "Alright, let's see what we can do," and proceeded to make as much noise as humanly possible. I was sitting in a 3-stall restroom at McDonald's. There was another man in the stall next to mine. I was minding my business when a guy came in like what sounded like a weird attempt at step dancing. He rushed in the stall 2 doors to my left, still hastily step dancing as he struggled to open his pants. He then finally sat down and nothing. Silence. This weird moment must have been like 2 seconds, but it felt like 10. Then I hear his flush, and as the flushing noise filled the air he let go what sounded like the trumpets of Jericho. An infernal thunder that must have awakened the gods, as I was 100% sure Thor was watching. How in hell could he have thought that the innocent noise of a flushing toilet would oversound his ass concerto? Then again, silence. Sitting there in disbelief of what my ears just witnessed, I couldn't help but say, "I still did hear you." The guy next to me literally lost his shit and laughed his ass off. Funniest thing I ever said. I've been chasing that high ever since. I heard a dude say, "Get out of me," while grunting at taking a shit in the bathroom at the bar I go to. Weird. Better question. Dudes who grip the underside of a stall. Why? If I'm shitting in a public toilet, it has a pretty good chance it's moan worthy. I once heard a guy moan and then say banana bread after the turd hit the water. So people don't come close to me in public places. I had a friend who had this idea that public bathrooms were like a free space. He's like, who gives a fuck? These people don't know me, and I don't know them. So yeah, apparently he would go all out. What about the shiver when you're done peeing? What's the point in feeling good if nobody knows? My friends and I went to the bathroom at Union Station in DC. We all needed a quick pee before our trip, and there was a guy in the stall taking a dump who was literally having an exorcism. It was essentially plop, ugh, plop plop. Oh sweet Jesus. Asterisk PLOOOOOP asterisk. Mother Mary in heavy. We started cracking up right there and then. Who does number 2 work for? On my floor in the office, there's a dude who fucking eats chips when taking a shit in one of the stall. That's wild. And I heard him many times over the years. There's also one who regularly falls asleep in there and snores super loud. Then of course there's a large amount of other dudes who reenact the battle version every time and leave the place in a similar state. Needless to say, I now climb 2 floors up to do my business. Seriously, it sounds like a porn video the way some guys take a dump. It adds talk HPC. Edit. Talk is for pump poops, HP is for drill poops. Edit. Got a poop fass. Edit. Breathing in fills the stomach and builds C, probably, by pressing down on the anal cavity, which, in turn potato guns poop into toilet. Gotta get Neptune to eat my whole ass again. If you get the right frequency, your asshole will relax a little bit, and it'll help with the train coming out of the tunnel. Let me answer your question with another question. Ever see your turd and think, "Huh, I guess a dick that big could go in my ass"? You can't poop until you take out your butt plug. Edit. Thank you for the gold, you degenerate fuck. To assert dominance. I have a theory that about 75% of the male population will refuse to shit in a public stall unless they are literally exploding with diarrhea. So this creates an environment where a large percentage of people you encounter in a public restroom are going through it. Edit. Damn, can't read all the comments, but to the women questioning why men won't shit in public bathrooms, there is a substantial difference in cleanliness and hygiene between a woman's bathroom and a man's lol. Walk into a men's bathroom at an MLB baseball game, and walking into a stall is like walking into hell itself. Edit 2. Okay, women's bathrooms are dirty too. Sorry, never been in one. Sometimes when I shit I come. Edit. Waking up to see my gross dumb comment blow up brought me a lot of joy. Thank you for the awards everybody. Here's a list of potential reasons. 1. We've been holding it in, and we are on the border of a tragedy happening and we just barely make it. The feeling is euphoric, and we just have to moan in relief. 2. Sometimes it just takes that little bit of extra oomph to get everything flowing. 3. Constipation and we are having trouble keeping things moving. 4. They might be masturbating. 5. And my favorite, just to get reactions from people and be weird. Edit. Wow, thanks for making this my most upvoted comment ever. I moan when I poo. It helps evacuate me. Now I'm empty. To attract fellow mates. What I don't understand is why do people have full-on conversations on their phones while taking massive shits in an airport public bathroom. Edit. I actually wrote this comment while taking a shit and making noises. Also I can't believe after 5 years of Reddit this is the comment that takes off. I'm blessed, thank you all for making my life complete. Edit #2. Thank you everyone who took time out of their day to give my comment some awards. That shit is awesome. Relief of pressure. If you're uncomfortable with it, give a Hugh Jackman animalistic yell when you shit. Don't let them win. I like to say hoopsie doo, here comes the poo, rather loudly. It assures people that I am, in fact, pooping. Have you never held a piss or shit in for hours? Maybe they have bladder stones? I was working in a care home once, and an old guy was practically screaming whilst taking a whiz. We had a grunter at work. I can understand you can't control the noises coming out of your asshole, but why in God's name would you add to the soundtrack by grunting? Feels good, man. Okay, grunting, moaning, and coughing. It happens, I get it. But coming in and propping hands behind head at the urinal, starting a rando convo mid-piss, or still talking. Get out of here. I was at a hotel, and like 4 in the morning the person in the room next to me was so loud I heard him yell out my asshole, followed by a flush. Cracked me up. Had no clue, but might it be related with making a long and thick turd pass by their prostate vicinity? How else am I going to power up and turn Super Saiyan 3? Was in college waiting out in the hallways with some classmates for the teacher to come, unlock the door and let us in. We see one of the very much obese teachers go into the bathroom down the hall and a few minutes later we hear what sounded like someone dropping a cinder block into swimming pool followed by a *VERYLOUD ooh, and then a fart that sounded like an explosion. I very distinctly remember one of the girls was laughing so hard her neck veins were bulging out. I was laughing so hard I couldn't make any noises, just expel air out my mouth and crying. This dude came out several minutes later fucking *SWEATING*, beat red, having conquered the dragon of the abyss, and trudged away, until I assume the same thing happened later that night. I was in a mall bathroom once, doing my business, and all of a sudden this dude busts into the stall next to me. Sounds like a damn parade came to town. He didn't calmly or quietly sit down, he tore his trousers off, and Bautista bombed the toilet. After a second he groaned and moaned a bit, before he did his best Super Saiyan 3 impression, by screaming at the top of his lungs. After about 10 seemingly long seconds of that, I heard what can only be described as the sound of someone dropping a watermelon into a pool, before a slight groan, and then utter silence. To this day, I have no idea if that man survived. I actually forget that I'm in a public toilet sometimes. Like at my gym, while peeing I just say ah poo poo pee pee out loud sometimes, since I say it at home, to mess with my GF during her online lectures. I've gotten looks from people, but I also made some friends, since they thought it was hilarious.